Hi everyone, welcome back to Elbis and Elbis. What's going on? I'm joined here with Elbis.
Hi pal.
And, well, you know this takeaway I'm getting later. I'm seriously contemplating choosing the vegan option.
Well, I fully support anyone choosing to follow a plant-based diet. And I can imagine that an existence based solely on the ingestion of organic fruits, veg, nuts, legumes and pulses would be greatly rewarding, both physically and spiritually. However, I think there's some reason to believe that the current mainstream media push towards veganism is yet another Luciferian doctrine, with the ultimate aim of breeding an undernourished slave race receiving sustenance only from a man-made, synthetic, low-protein gruel. As such, my advice to you and any other potential vegans would be, man has never, nor shall he ever, create something which is superior to that of nature.
I'll probably just get a KFC then.
What's going on with Elbis? Elbis.
Well everyone, that was What's Going On, the first segment of the show, and good to be back for episode 3 I suppose, last week. Episode 2 went down a storm once again.
Things are really unfolding astrally, I feel, this season.
I mean, once again as well, this week, Dream or Vision will prove that as well.
Well, we'll see in a minute.
See, I suppose.
However, I think it's important for the fans to know that when we start a season, we have absolutely no plans for it whatsoever.
Oh, well,
and it just
we
kind
don't
of
have any plans for anything.
The way that the universe takes us, and I'm liking the way the universe is taking us at the moment.
I mean, if there was a direction the universe wanted to take us, I would say keep going, pal. That's what I'd say to the universe right now. Because I'm liking it too.
Anyway.
And I think I do sort of need to say that the world class tweet went on a bit late on Twitter.
There was a few people complaining about
There's
that.
been a few complaints about it, and what I just say is get stuff.
If people knew the schedule we kept
God.
to last week, though, not only that, but there was quite a lot of external pressures around the personal lives of Elbis, really.
As a head in media, or admin even, I meant to say.
Admin.
I need to sort of own up and say, look,
It's your fault.
the world class tweet probably should have gone on. However, as you say, I'm in a private life and with the Elbis and Elbis world class podcast, there's so much stuff that goes on.
There's
so much stuff that needs to go on.
Book your ideas up.
And listen, if you've got any problem with a world class tweet going out late, just do something else with your life. God,
hopefully it'll be on time.
Jesus Christ, it'll be on time next time. Stop going on about it.
The feature we're about to go into, I do have Dukey all lined up and ready to go, so I don't want to spend too long in this segment.
Host of the jukebox, you need to make sure it's onto a par when it plays this. So fire it up.
Okay.
That's
the Dukey.
Jesus Christ,
It's a bit.
What the hell's going on with Dukey?
We've got to go straight into it. This is Dream or Vision.
Are you sure this is going to be safe?
Yeah. I've got to do it now though.
Don't you wonder sometimes if it's a dream or a vision? Well, the jingle there, it gets even more world class every week.
Copyrighted again last week.
What does that tell you?
It's because I think they're matching Bowie's voice patterns, because that's probably how the album works. And I think that they're just finding it identical and assuming that this is David Bowie singing. However, it's not, and our lyrics are better. But we don't mind.
We don't care. Look, if
we don't do this for financial gain. We're already independently wealthy.
We do it for creative legacy. That's what
for
we
the
do
fans.
Well, sort of.
In a way.
Well, Dream or Vision this week. I mean, actually, you'll be surprised.
Well, hang on a minute, because I have something to say before we go into this week's Dream or Visions. And for the first time, I might be proud of my astral apprentice slightly, aka you.
Yeah, thanks.
Because if we take season 1 and season 2 as a whole, you've had a pretty poor record when it comes to actual
I don't know about
proof
that.
of visions and
God.
things like that. But the last
I discovered
week's
the realm.
vision. You didn't
Season-
discover the realm.
No, but like
you
I
made
discovered it
to the
for
realm.
myself.
Yeah, you made it to the realm.
Yeah, that's
which
what
I
I'm
was
talking
proud of you for that.
Yeah, fine.
But last week, an interesting thing came to me about
Yeah.
your I killed John B.
Yeah.
Now-
and if you don't know about that, any listeners,
Go back
if you don't
and
know,
listen
go
to
to
it.
episode
Yeah.
2, listen to
Now,
it.
during
It's
the week-
crucially listen to that.
And this is a delicate subject, so let's treat it with some respect.
Absolutely. As
During the
Elbis
week, I was
always do.
reading some of my periodicals, and it came up that the much-loved actor, Johnny Briggs, who played Mike Baldwin from Coronation Street, unfortunately passed on. And Johnny Briggs, John B. Now, I'm not saying it's anything to do with that, but I'm saying it's interesting how you brought that up. And, you know, a much-loved celebrity, one of my favourites. If his family's listening, we're sorry to bring it up and we wish you all the best. And I would like to say to his family that my business Mogality, I've always said, has been partially based on the character of Mike Baldwin, crossed with J.R. Ewing and a bit of Steve Wozniak in there. So I'm a big fan.
Well-
Going on about it was funny, wasn't it, that he died this week?
I mean, I'm not having
Not
a
funny,
go.
ha. Just
yeah,
weird,
well,
I mean.
well, I
Weird
don't know.
that you said John B.
I'm not having a go out. I mean, you know, R.I.P. John and all that.
shiver went down my spine when I
You
saw
know,
that.
good actor in that. You know, nice bloke, I bet, as well.
Really nice bloke.
But,
Great actor.
I mean, and I'm not having a go here, but I think John B. on the wall, written in blood, was probably a bit more substantial. Do you know what I mean?
Well, okay, so you're not happy with it?
I don't think it was him. It was on about because I mean.
Are you trying to say you want a big enough star?
No. I'm not having a go.
Because if you
I'm
were,
not-
it was massive.
I'm not having
now,
a go.
American fans might not know, but Coronation Street is the biggest program.
But I was in
the
America
UK.
at the time, so that's why it
Yeah,
don't
well,
make sense.
Well, okay, I was trying to pay you a compliment. I won't bother.
Well, I mean, I just don't know.
Forget
I
about
mean,
it.
look, I've spent a long time looking into what this dream would mean, or vision.
You've done further research then.
I have done further research, and
Okay.
I did find something, and it was John. I can't remember how to say his last name, but he was in Led Zeppelin.
Belushi. Bonham.
Bonham, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And he died to suspicious.
Jukebox is off again.
Well, you saw that jukey.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's all right. It's
Anyway, this John Bonham, let's just say, had suspicious circumstances when he died.
Really? Yeah.
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm sort of leaning towards
in that direction. Very
that,
interesting.
maybe. But as I say, look, it's a controversial topic, even though the gloves are off now.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't mind speaking about it. But you know, I'm sort of maybe leaning towards that. However, it probably to be conclusive that it is John Bonham that we're talking about in the stream or vision, I think I'd need to do further research.
Okay, well, we can come back to that in a future episode.
But it is weird. It is weird about and R.I.P. John from Corrie and that because he was a legend. Johnny, he's a legend and that. And you know, I hope it wasn't about you in my dream or vision, but you know,
all the
because
fans
it was pretty bad what I saw, so I
glass
didn't want that to
Johnny
you know,
Briggs.
I'll raise one right now.
Yeah,
you know.
there
Cheers,
we are.
pal.
Cheers,
Cheers, well done.
Anyway, we're better
Well,
going
not
to
well
this
done.
stream.
Well, yeah, well done about your career and that.
I'm getting concerned now about how long this is taking.
Well,
I just wanted to give you a quick compliment.
Yeah. Anyway,
Fortunately, mine isn't going to be a long one.
yeah, neither really. I mean, after the substantial dream or vision I had last week, I'm sort of astrally
Well, you go
juiced
first if
out,
you
I'd
want,
say.
then.
Yeah, all right, I'll go first. Actually, I did think my dream or vision this week would be pretty mediocre, really, because I thought there's not much meaning
the
behind
fans
it.
are used
However,
to it with you.
now
Mediocre would be an
I'm
improvement.
feeling I may have changed the astral realm altogether.
Well,
Because-
that's possible, actually, because you are the master of
last
your own realm.
week we spoke about how
proved
the realm
that.
has been quite violent recently, especially last week. Have you noticed that this week at all?
There is. Well, I go into mine in a minute. So,
Well, this was
for
only-
me, it's not settled.
This was only
It's
last
not
night.
settled,
This
but
was
a
only
solution
last
is
night.
presenting
This dream or
itself.
vision. So I've got no notes about it. I'm going in fresh.
Mine was last night.
So you know.
Some might say we got desperate just talking about all that stuff.
Well, if they said
vision.
that,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what goes on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think this dream or vision, I mean, so this was only last night, remember, so we'll see what happens over the next few days, but this dream or vision, I appeared in the realm, well, it was realmish anyway, and it was like, I was at this house, right, this big house, it was like, you know, real big courtyard and that, but there was no one there, there was just me and this female entity.
Well, it better not be a new one after 2 in 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know.
God knows how many kids
I don't know. I mean,
you need to concentrate more on the mission that we've got rather than sowing your astral oats.
She looks similar to the one I had before.
Okay.
So it might have been her. I don't know.
The Irish one or this one?
No, the LA one. But she died, didn't she? So it probably wasn't her.
Yeah.
But I did as well, so it might have been.
All right, yeah.
Anyway, you know, so, you know, she was just like, but she was a bit like, she was like
Moved
an
on
explorer.
quickly from that, didn't you?
Look, there was nothing thing about this relationship. It was strictly professional.
Okay.
Because she was like an explorer, something almost like a Lara Croft type figure. That's what I saw her as.
Now, this is getting interesting.
Now, she had like a map, right? And she was like, look.
Whoa.
She brought me
Wait till you weigh man.
She brought me a map and she was like, right, we need to go here. We're going to sort something out here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really know
this is
what
weird.
we're going to, but all right. So anyway, we go to this place, and it's like a desert, really. That's the only way I can describe, like a desert, but it's like a... do you know, like in America, where like Route 66 or something like that?
Yeah.
And it's like a, you know, there's like little plant, grassy bits and sand.
In some areas it goes right.
Yeah.
So it depends where you are, obviously. But...
And I was like on something like that, but what happened was there was like a Venus flytrap.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was massive.
Right.
Absolutely huge. And we got to this place, this X on the map or whatever. And this girl, this like Lara Croft woman, sort of female, she was good looking in the way she portrayed herself, let's just say.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh God, you know, let me just sort this out. And then all of a sudden this thing came up from the floor, right? And it was like this, like, the only way I could describe it was like a demon dragon thing.
Oh my God.
I honestly, and it started attacking us. Like,
I thought you said there was no more violence.
Well, it picked me up.
Yeah.
And it dropped me in the Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
And but this Venus flytrap wasn't just a normal Venus flytrap.
Yes.
I like fell through the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it was like I was in like a lift.
Ah.
But it was like a real modern one, and I went down and I was like, what am I? And I look up and it was like a hole where I could see this demon dragon thing that had just dropped me in this Venus flytrap.
Different realm, perhaps. You might be right.
I like pressed this button, I went down, and all I can say is I saw this like ball of like, it's like a blue light, like just a ball of blue light. That's the only way I can describe it. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, what's going on here? I pulled this lever, and this bloody dragon like blew up, and then it propelled me back out of the Venus flytrap. I went flying out. Yeah. And that was it, really.
Now, I've often privately contemplated that perhaps our reality is, in some ways, like a honeycomb, where there are lots of different chambers, and we go from one to the other and all this business. And when we go to realms, perhaps there's all different realms we can go to. Maybe what you've done is found a weak spot mid-realm visit and transponded yourself into another realm.
Well,
perhaps.
I
Interesting
think
stuff,
this
groundbreaking.
This wizard, or dark wizard, who's been making our dreams more violent.
Yeah.
I think our visions more violent, our astral adventures more violent. I think I may have dealt with him. I think this dragon, demon thing, may have appeared in the shape. This wizard may have appeared in the shape of this dragon demon thing, or it was sent by him.
Let me tell you about mine then, because yours sort of sounded interesting. It sort of sounded in fit with mine a little bit.
You see that I hadn't made notes on that, so I'm probably missing quite a
it's
a bit of that.
We get the gist of it.
But yeah, anyway.
Now, in my case, my dream or vision from last evening, let's just say, I was standing at a bus stop, right? And with me was a female.
Oh,
Well,
hang on a minute. Someone's
Before you get started,
God,
our
slagging me off.
relationship- No.
Jesus.
No.
Slagging me off.
Our relationship was purely business.
Ah,
I
well.
don't mean the kind of
I bet it was,
street
Paul.
corner
I bet it
business.
was,
I
yeah.
mean, I appreciated this woman primarily for, I was going to say knowledge, but I would say
knowledge of-
skills. Non-sexual skills. Non-sexual skills.
I don't want to.
Okay,
Are you
right.
sure we want to know?
Anyway,
about this,
so there
please?
was this female entity. stood
Was
next to
she
me.
attractive in the way she appeared?
She was very good at her job, which was a non-sexual one. Let's just say it. Anyhow, also with us was a short fellow. A short old fellow. Or at least, I thought he was old, because he was wearing like an old man's flat cap and a big long trench coat.
Like
dressed
Del
like
Boy?
an old man. Yeah, very similar, yeah, but looked old, like old the way he was. And
What
that.
David James was it?
No, it wasn't.
David
no,
Jason.
No. He was really small. He
David
was like,
Jason, I meant, not David
I'm
James. He was a
talking.
keeper. But...
It's perfectly proportional. I'm talking small, like a little person.
Hey.
Yeah. Real frail
Hey.
and thin and everything.
Short-legged
Anyhow,
species.
was there, and there was no kind of verbal communication which went on. But somehow I knew what the old situation was, and this is the thing: the short little fellow, the little chap,
He's short-legged.
he knew the secret, right?
The secret.
No, that's what it was. He knew the secret.
Do you know the secret?
No, the lady.
She knew the secret.
No,
Ah.
he had to tell her the secret.
For her to
And
tell you the
she-
secret.
No. She had to write it down so that everybody would know the secret. And
Who's everybody? Is these your great astral mates?
everyone,
that
I
we've
don't
been
know.
at?
This was the thing. I had to make sure they got to the location where she would do the writing.
Ah.
And this was something that was going to change reality. It was something massive, right? So we was waiting at the bus stop. Now, if I'd have known it was that, I'd have probably shelled out for a taxi, to be fair.
Well, yeah.
But for some reason, it was a bus stop. Anyhow, the astral bus comes down the astral street,
All right.
and it stops.
Did you get an astral day rider, or did you just get an astral signal?
Actually, that's just brought something back, which I completely forgot. I got like a day ride.
An astral day ride?
And I really didn't need to, and I thought, I paid too much for that. But no, because
Nah,
I never. Well, if you
You
like
was
the
robbed
thingy,
astrally.
the astral lady got on the bus,
Yeah.
but then loads of people started coming out.
Oh.
And I like waited for one, and I got on as well. And this is when I bought the astral day rider,
Yeah.
and it was something like £18.
18 quid.
Well, it was important to
What the
get
hell
there,
was
but
this
I thought, I
astral
didn't need
bus?
to pay all that. Anyway, the little chap, he was still stood outside the bus, and he was being real polite, letting other people get out. Yeah, people who was getting off. So I was like, oh, that's real polite of him. And I thought, well, I'll go wait with him, make sure he gets on okay. So I went, and finally everybody had got off the bus. And then I went and got back on it again. I turned round and he started walking away.
Oh my
So I was
God.
like, what are you doing, pal? And I got off and started walking after him. And the bus just went. And I
Oh,
thought,
God.
great. There
Oh, so
goes
he paid
the one
18
who's got
quid.
Yeah, there's the one who's got to write it down. It was a day rider, so I could have caught the next one.
Yeah.
But there's the one who has to write it down to reveal it to the world. I've failed my job because I'm not getting in there. And he's just walking off like he don't have a care in the world. Anyhow, as he was walking off, I turned around and I saw a little girl. And this little girl, just looked like a normal little girl, and she looked at me. Now, she was evil, and I knew she was evil, and I think she might have been one of these doppelgangers what I've been on about.
God.
And she just looked and she went, "Ah!" and then started running at me. Now, the thing is, I've got massive powers in the astral world, as you know, and I'm not scared of anybody. However, I would never punch a little girl in the face in this realm, nor even in the other realm,
Well spoken,
under any
Well
circumstances.
spoken. Well
I'm
spoken.
sorry, but I can't bring myself to
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well
so what I
spoken,
did, rather than do that, is I used my astral awareness and instantly awoke myself from my state and just woke up. And that was that. But I thought, God, that's interesting. So it's almost as if we're getting close to the secret now. But it's not quite there. And you maybe discovered the secret. And I was nearly there, and I was supposed to meet you there, but it never happened.
That is interesting. That is
Very
really
interesting.
interesting.
It's
And I
very
think this
interesting.
glowing ball of light I discovered in
Could have
it
been
was like in
secret.
a container. Do you know like in a film, right, where you get I don't know, there's like a super weapon or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like in like a container.
Like a gun that could kill anything.
Yeah. And like it's like in this container or something. And it's just like they're like holding it there. Like, that was like what it was. It was just like it's like I shouldn't be there.
Well, this will be the secret. That could have been the secret then. Well, all I can say is I mean, probably 2 great visions or astral experiences once again. And what I would say to the fans is, if you need to stay tuned for this. Cause,
definitely.
Me. I mean,
I think we're discovering something.
You've had good evidence from us. You've had the Jack the Ripper solved, no question. We've had suspicion around Frank Sinatra's death. Personally, I think the Johnny B thing was, but you're not happy. Still researching into John Bonham though.
Yeah, definitely. We're still looking at that.
Stay tuned.
That's all I can say. I mean, that for me, 2 weak Dream or Visions we thought it was going to be, but it turned out probably one of the strongest Dream or Visions we've ever had there. Yeah. Collectively, I mean, it feels like we're really about to discover something big. So, as you say, Elbis, I advise all the fans to keep tuned and make sure you listen next week. Let's see what's happening on the Astral Adventures. Let's just play that jingle.
Okay.
Don't you wonder sometimes if it's a dream or vision? Well, everyone, that was Dream or Vision. And now it's time for a highlight of the poddy, as people are calling it. That's not my words, it's the fans' words. It's the fans' words. Time for FOTW, as I call it.
You're really pushing that branding of this feature, aren't you?
Yeah, well, mainly because I can get away with it in the title now, and I can't really be bothered to spell out Film of the Week every week.
I see what you mean. You mean I see what you mean.
Yeah. But, yeah, Film of the Week time, so, well, let's just get straight into it, shall we?
Ready for the theme tune?
Yes, I'm always ready.
It's the Elbis and Elbis Film of the Week.
Well, it's Film of the Week time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm thinking, well, do you want to go first? Do I want to go first?
I've got to be honest, it's like...
Oh, have you watched a film this week?
I have, actually, yeah.
Thank God for that. 3 episodes in, and this is the first time you've watched a film.
However, I must admit, it did get to about 8 o'clock last night, and I thought, oh, God.
Have you had a nap in it again?
No. I got to about 8 o'clock, and I thought, oh, my God, I hadn't even switched the television on this week.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And so I just put something on. First film that come up on Netflix, literally... watched it.
Sometimes it's best though.
Well, there is a kind of something that makes me think the universe, obviously it always does, provided that film for me. Do you want me to go or do you want to go or what?
Well, you've built it up. You might
all right, I'll tell you why. And you might have seen it, I don't know. The film is called Us.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, well, never mind. I can still talk about it.
Yeah, great film.
Well,
sorry about that.
We'll see. Anyhow, I just went on Netflix. I thought, oh crap, he's going to have a right go at me this week.
Summer.
Yeah. So what I did is I just put Netflix on. It came up. I thought, oh, that looks weird.
Yeah.
Pressed the play, and it just went. Anyhow, so I started watching it, and I thought, oh, this is weird because what's it about? Doppelgangers,
yeah.
And what was my vision about last week?
I had it as well about you.
Yeah.
In the
it's
kitchen.
possible even a little girl doppelganger.
Yeah.
However, so I thought, well, this is definitely something that I've got to watch. Now, you said great film. I might take slight umbrage with it in some ways, but I'm going to run it through the system shortly because that's what the system's for, and it'll settle it once and for all, won't it? Clearly. Now, I better go through it a little bit for the fans, and it's about this family, and in the family there's the mother, and when she's a little girl, she goes to the fair
and that, and
goes in the Hall of Mirrors, or as Monkey would say, mirrors.
Mirrors, yeah.
And in this hall of mirrors, she sees something which she first deems to be a reflection of herself.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so it'd be nice to be...
Right, yeah. Well, she sees a reflection of something which she deems to be herself and goes closer to it and realises, actually, it stood the other way around.
Oh, God.
Turns out, doppelganger.
Well...
And then it just kind of goes off, and then it like flashes to the next scene, and the parents have got her in the car and she's going home, and anyhow, she doesn't speak for years. But she grows up into this woman, and it's like the family holiday home, and when they're all grown up, her and her family, which is her husband, a daughter and a son, all go away to this same family home where they was. Obviously, she's a bit wary of it and that. And it's about that. And anyway, what happens is, one night, the son's looking out the window and it's like, oh, there's a family stood at the end of the drive. So the dad's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Turns out they all look exactly the same as them. A family of doppelgangers.
A bit weird, that.
But evil
Doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers. Evil doppelgangers.
Well, in a way, they are quite evil, I suppose, yeah.
Well, this is it, innit? Whether they are or they are, I don't know.
Well...
And I'm almost keen, in a way. I have pre-prepared a punch card. And I'm almost keen to insert, let's just say, the punch card reasonably early in this one. Because I believe that by using the system will help me structure my thoughts.
There's no shame in that.
No, because I kind of don't know how I feel about it at the moment.
Pre-prepared punch card, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give my view of the film quickly.
Well, it's my review.
No, but I'll just say like what I thought about it quickly. I seem to remember me thinking it was a good film, really. Not amazing, but a good film. A good film. I didn't expect it to be good, and it was alright. It was, it was good. So.
What are you doing here?
Hang on. It's a bloody supercomputer.
Set. You need to type first. So set. Yeah. No, don't run it through yet. Just put the pre-prepared punch card
in.
Yeah, you put it in,
computer.
and then you type run when you're ready to get the score.
Well, you ready?
No, not for the score, because I'm doing the system. I've got to talk you through the system.
Oh, right, sorry.
God, I know it's my system, but you should take time to bloody learn how it actually works. Good God.
Cares about
honestly.
Stupid
right, so, should we explain the system to the fans, or should they know by now?
Well, if...
33, start, beginning, middle.
Floating point as well.
Beginning, middle and end.
There's a 33 floating point. That's all you need to know. Go.
And it's more accurate than Rotten
Come on,
Tomatoes.
let's go.
Okay, right. So, the beginning. Now, I thought the beginning was alright because it was quite, let's just say, it sparked my curiosity. And I was like thinking, what is going on here? Especially when she saw the doppelganger. However, there was a lot of things which annoyed me about the beginning.
Alright.
Like when they were singing in the car and all that.
See, I can't remember it really.
And I'm like, no families are really happy all the time. Like what they...
I never sing in the car with my family, so...
Well, we used to sing Brian Ferry sometimes, but that was mainly me. My dad, my mum and sister never took any notice. No, my sister did. It was my mum. That didn't. Anyway, I wasn't keen on all that, and it was a bit cheesy and corny, but it was still an interesting premise that was being arranged for me. So, for that reason, and I would say the end of the beginning, if you know what I mean, is where I think the other family turned up on the drive. So you first saw the doppelgangers.
Right.
So as a self-contained segment, I think it rates okay, but above okay, I would say 24. Right?
That's decent.
That is decent for me,
it's
especially
decent, very decent actually.
Yeah.
Good score, I'd say.
Now the middle. In the middle, they established the fact that the doppelgangers did mean them no well, let's just say.
They wanted to inflict harm upon them.
Now, I thought the dog boy was quite cool.
Dog boy.
The
dog boy.
Yeah, he was a bit like a dog and stuff. I thought that was quite good. And I thought in terms of making them terrifying, they did quite well. They did quite well with that. However, what really annoyed me in the middle segment...
It was quite an interesting performance by the actors, really. Because
It
they'll
was
have had to perform the family normally and the doppelganger as well.
So
quite
I
interesting
got double the
performance.
pay
Yeah, I do
in some ways. And so it was a good performance from the actors. Which might raise my score, because it was getting on my nerves. And I tell you what gets on my nerves is just all the stupid decisions they make. Like, they ran over one of the doppelgangers.
Yeah.
And then like, stop. get out and go have a look for him. Why do that? Just keep driving.
Yeah.
Things like that really annoy me. So that brings it down a bit. Now, what brings it up? Not a lot else, I don't think. So it kind of annoyed me. Good acting. Reasonably scary things going on. So I'll bring it down slightly, and I would say 22.
All right.
So it's still
respectable. Respectable.
Still up there, isn't it?
That's respectable.
Still up there.
So what's that so far? You are
24 and 22 gives us 66.
Right, that's decent.
Right, that
decent
is pretty
so far.
good.
With
Actually,
an end as well.
We're going to have to run the cycle twice because it's a 6-bit computer.
It is a 6-bit computer.
So it needs two
We'll
cycles.
sort that. Anyway, get to
We'll
finish.
sort
Come
that.
on, finish now.
I think we take run twice.
Floating point.
Yeah,
Come on.
Okay, now the finale or the last segment.
Yeah, where all the
Now again, I'm conflicted with
conclusion.
This. Yeah, you could do. I'm conflicted with this conclusion.
I can't seem to remember the conclusion clearly.
It was when it revealed what had actually been happening. So why? Oh, I forgot to say in the middle as well. They're like,
oh my God, you're going back to the middle.
No. Well, this is important.
Jesus.
They've escaped from this doppelganger family.
Oh yeah, they did escape. Yeah.
And then they went up to their friends.
Yeah, this other couple. They died.
And they went to their house, and it turns out that
Bit
they've
dust.
got evil doppelgangers.
Yeah.
And the old town or city, whatever it is, Santa Cruz,
Got evil
all of them
doppelgangers,
had evil doppelgangers,
bit
which
of
had come
dust.
out and was taking over.
Yeah.
So that was a bit weird. And I thought, oh yeah. Now I thought that at that point it had essentially turned into a zombie film, except the zombies weren't zombies. They were evil doppelgangers. And now you know as well as anybody, or probably better than anybody, that I never watch zombie films. It's just a rule.
Well, you was going to watch Evil Dead, but you never did you?
Oh, well, would you say they're zombies?
Well,
Not
good
really.
argument. Good argument,
Not really.
actually. Yeah.
I mean, that has a...
Actually, yeah.
That has a
I think it is known as a zombie film, but I don't actually think they are zombies.
No, they're possessed, and it's very different. I know because I have been. And it also has a promiscuous forest.
A forest in which delves in sexual
frolicking
pleasures. Anyway, what? This or whatever. What happened?
Yeah, what was he saying? Yeah, so it sort of descended into like a zombie film where this is chasing that and get away from that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a bit
what
sick of
happened
that.
then?
I should have. Well,
33 floating.
we're on
point.
66
What are
now.
you giving me?
Now, the actual premise of why this was happening,
Jesus.
I found pretty bad. I
Okay.
thought it was a bit preposterous.
Bit stupid.
If I'm honest.
Okay.
And
Fair
so
enough.
by the end, it would have been written a bit lower, but then there was a twist. And I've got to admit, I wasn't expecting the twist. But the reason I wasn't expecting the twist is because I'd given up caring.
Well.
And I always say that when revealing an unknown truth, that truth shall only shock if the subject is something I care about. And I didn't really care anymore in this film. But it wasn't a bad twist. And when it had happened, I thought, oh, actually, that was quite good.
Yeah.
So, do you know what? Screw it. It's going to get a 25.
Respectable.
So, 71.
Respectable.
No, 81. Oh, it's way too high. Oh, go on, 81. It is way too high.
81. No, 20.
It's the system.
You were at 24.
24.
22.
Oh, so that's 46. That's where we made the mistake.
Oh, yeah.
We said 66. Yeah, 46. Plus 25, 71.
71.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, 71. That's
71,
perfect.
yeah,
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 the
70.
system works. That's perfect.
Well, let's see what. Oh, pre-prepared. Yeah, it's already.
Yeah, it's in. It's in.
Right.
RUN.
RUN.
Enter. Return, sorry.
93?
Get stuff. This is
Rotten
why.
Tomatoes.
This is
why
why
the system
our
is more
system-
accurate.
Yeah.
Our system has been proven more accurate.
Yeah.
And
This
that proves it.
has
90.
exposed a flaw. What? Well, you've seen it. What would you say about
Metacritic.
Metacritic? Yeah.
Metacritic. Give it 81.
Well, the Internet Movie Database gave it 68%. If you look, 'cause it's 6.8 out of 10.
74. So
Yeah. So
you know, actually,
that's the system.
That is the
It's
system.
an accurate system.
It's an accurate system.
It is a good
and
system.
that proves our system is better.
So I
than
mean,
this
how
crap.
do you feel as a former viewer of this film?
I am a former viewer of this.
Would you
film.
agree with my
And
analysis?
I would genuinely. I'd absolutely, definitely agree with your analysis. I thought it was absolutely spot on, pal. It was well spoken.
Thank you.
And I thought,
Thank you.
yeah, I think you've summed it up to a par.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, I just think that is way too high. It's nowhere near. I remember watching this film and thinking it was as a bit like you said when the twist came. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
However, I didn't think it was that good.
Nah.
Because I remember Evil Dead was 92. There's no way that's better than Evil Dead. There is no way that's better than Evil Dead. Get stuffed. Anyway, well, my film of the week anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yet another discovery of, let's just say so, a media example in which it is astrally offensive.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't believe it. I just stumbled across this.
Go on.
Anyway, it's called Host. Right. So it's new. It's pretty new.
Or, as some English people may say, host.
It's called Hurst or Host.
Or Hearst.
As
Anyway.
some other English people may say.
Computer's playing up again.
Ah, well, yeah,
Don't
just
mind
leave it. And yeah, basically, this host or host
Yeah.
had this it was basically set in like a Microsoft Teams call or a Zoom call.
Oh God, I would never watch
Jesus,
some.
it
And
was
I never watched one
it
where
was
you know, like
horrendous.
where it's got loads of text messages coming on the
Horrendous.
screen.
So basically,
why did you watch this? Was it your cartoon companion?
It was my cartoon companion.
I thought it would.
But my cartoon companion, I'll give a review of it, and you'll know. Basically, so anyway, it goes on.
Yeah.
So the first 20 minutes, right, first thing I noticed about it is that it's 59 minutes long. That's not long for a film. 59 minutes,
long for a
less
film.
than an hour for a film. It's meant. I thought, hang on a minute, actually, what's going on here?
Less than a Christmas episode of EastEnders.
Exactly, what's going on? So I'm thinking, hang on a minute, let's have a look. Well, the first 20 minutes of it, you might as well have just joined a random Zoom call and just watched them chat for a bit.
Seriously.
That was it. There was just
my
a few
God.
people chatting for the first 20 minutes. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, is this a horror film or what? Because it was supposed to be a horror film. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what is going on? I'm just watching.
Do you know what this
I'm
is?
watching 20 minutes of chat here.
Do you know what
It's
this is?
ridiculous.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel
Ridiculous.
passionately about this. This is
Oh,
all
so do I, pal.
because not
So
only
do
are
I.
they jumping on the bandwagon
Oh,
of everybody being locked down,
Jesus.
but also it's because they've thought, right, we've got no budget.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect excuse. And what they thought is people would say, oh, well, they've done a good job seeing as they've, seeing as well the restrictions of that. Get stuff.
Now I like to read up on some films. Now I refuse to read up on this film, not only because it took the advantage, it was astrally offensive and took advantage of
I'd be interested to know why it's
said
astrally
lockdown
offensive,
measures.
though. Astrally.
Well, I'll tell you how it's astrally offensive.
I mean, it's
because
offended me already
this
in a lot
group
of
of
ways, but
people,
not
right?
astrally.
Now, this group of people, there was all from different countries and that. There was some English people, an Australian man. There was I was thinking, who are these people?
Working
and that's
for
one
the
thing they
same
never
company.
said. I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah.
Anyway, this woman's like, oh yeah, just make sure you're all respectful and that. And this woman who's coming on, they're like, oh yeah, go on then. This woman comes on and she's like, bloody, oh yeah, right, okay, everyone light a candle, turn your lights out. We're gonna speak to the spirits. And that's when she said, now don't worry, we're going to break the astral barrier. That's what she said. Now I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Now this is personal. Now this is personal.
Yeah.
So the way this film depicted astral ventures, I'd say, or astral
Anomalies.
astral beings, whatever you want to call them,
Astral engagements.
astral physical.
Yes. Go on.
It just annoyed me so much. The way they portrayed
I've never
it.
seen you so animated, I must
Honestly,
admit.
the way it portrayed it was that this astral anomaly, let's just say, could reach everyone on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Everyone in
whatever.
different countries. Now, this bloke, I need to say, this Australian bloke joined and he started taking the mick. He's like, oh yeah, God, these bloody ghosts. There's no such thing. Get stuff. And he's got this little figure or something. Of his from his grandma or something like that, and said, "Oh God, it's a bit weird. This, you spin that, and then that starts playing. It plays a tune. And then he says, sometimes we've been in the house.
Clapping
Yeah. Sometimes
Sounds
we've been in the
lame.
house and this has gone off. It's a bit
lame.
spooky.
I'm looking forward to this going.
They're all like, "Oh, put that away. You're spooking us out," and that. He's like, "Oh well, I've still got it out. Get stuff." Anyway, he's attractive female companion.
Oh, well, things
Oh.
have taken a turn.
I believe should have appeared more in this film.
Was she not on the main Zoom call?
No, she wasn't, but she
Wow.
appeared by the side of
Maybe
the
she
door.
has
And
her
let's
own
just say,
private channel.
this actress even, gave a refreshing performance.
Now, do you know the name of this actress?
Well, I don't, in a way, because she only said a couple of lines. However, I did appreciate her presence in this film. And
I'll put the supercomputer into image mode, so we shall receive some images.
This bloody attractive female companion ends this Zoom call of this bloke because she's like, oh, forget about them, come spend some time with me for once.
I'd be straight there.
I would be as well, for all these losers. Anyway, all these losers are on this call and they're all like, forget about him, we don't need him. Anyway, this woman joins, she's like Scottish, and she's like, oh,
Not the attractive one.
No, this Scottish woman. She's like, oh, everyone light a candle, we're all gonna do some astral barrier breaking or whatever she called it. I was thinking, get stuffed. Anyway, some weird stuff starts to happen. This girl pretends that this spirit is like talking to it. No, I'm sure she had a nice personality. Yeah. She was like, oh God, this bloke's trying to talk to me. There was this kid called Andy or something who, was real nice in school and he died, and I think he's trying to communicate. And the Scottish woman like, oh, that's really good, love. Well done, well done. Anyway, it turns out she was lying, and now load of stuff's going on, and this woman's going, oh, you shouldn't have lied. It's angered all the demons, and everyone's like, oh God, what have you done? Yeah. And now everywhere, this all stuff starts going on, and you can see it all happening. Now, what I will say is, it was jumpy. However, I don't necessarily give films...
Was it suspenseful?
It was, in a way. And I've got to credit the film for that, because even though it was astrally offensive, and I was sick of it. Yeah. Now, as we all know, this current lockdown situation with COVID or whatever, that was present throughout this film. Now, this woman it starts with this woman, right?
Let's run it through the system now, and then we can explain the ending as we go through the system. So let's do the start.
Alright, my system, yeah. Right, so...
Hang on, I'm going to have to prepare a punch card. You talk while I do
that. I would give this film, at the start, it was 20 minutes of chat. That was the start.
Sounds crap.
I'd give the start 8.
8?
Just quiet down with you.
Sorry, I'm just doing punch card.
I'll give it 8.
8? Oh, whoa,
20 minutes of chat. 20 minutes of chat about nonsense.
What
I don't even know who these people are. I'm just watching a Teams call. That's what I'm watching here. It's ridiculous.
8. So that's 8.
Infuriating.
Middle.
The middle, I'd give it 15.
Oh, well, it's improved a hell of a lot.
Well, it's improved because stuff started happening. Well, the one attractive female I'd see made an appearance, and I thought, oh, that's alright. And anyway, then the woman... And then stuff actually started to happen, and I thought, oh, at least something's going on. At least I'm not watching a chat. So it made me appreciate stuff happening more, because I just watched 20 minutes of chat. So I'd give it 15. And the end, I'd give it 4. No, I wouldn't. I'd give it 1. I'd give it 1, because I was so infuriated by the end. Because at the end, right, this woman, right...
Give it away. You might as well...
You know what? This woman, right, so...
Attractive
they're all from different...
No.
Well...
Did we see her again?
No, it's not the attractive female entity we're talking about. But, she's a nice girl and that. Well, I don't know.
Did we see the attractive female entity?
No, she died, I think. Oh, yeah, she did die. She was like... Well... This is another thing. The astral being held her above a pole and snapped her neck.
Oh my God.
And this bloke joined the call back, right? So this bloke who left the call, right? Yeah. So he left the call, load of stuff happening, and then he joined back, and I called that straight away. Not my astral companion, sorry, my physical companion can confirm. I called it.
Your courting companion.
Yeah, my courting companion. I said, look, this bloke's gonna leave, he'll join back, and then it'll be all going on while he joins back, and he won't know what he's walked into. Load of stuff starts happening, people start dying, he joins back. And he's like, oh, God, you're all kidding, sort it out, what's going on here? And anyway, he wasn't even in the call while all this astral tormenting was going on, right? And for some reason, he joins the call, and now it's all this astral tormenting starts happening to him, even though he wasn't even there. So you're telling me this Zoom call... This astral tormenting can only happen if you join this Zoom call. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this is ridiculous. Now, at the end, this woman, who lives around the corner from this other woman who's on the Zoom call, but they can't see each other because of lockdown and stuff, she goes out her house, right? It took about 40 minutes for someone to think, oh, what if I just leave the house? It might stop happening.
Yeah, I'll close the laptop lid.
So, no one left the call. No one tried that. Anyway, 40 minutes in, she runs out her house with a mask on.
Wrap it up now,
I am.
Sick of it.
You want to hear this? You want to hear this? She's wearing a mask running outside, right? She gets to the house, she throws a window at this other girl's house who's been dragged into this room by this astral being, right? So she wants to go help her. throws a rock, smashes the window, goes into the kitchen. I don't know what she was doing. She just stood about, looking about like, oh, it's a kitchen. This bottle flies at her, hits her in the head, and she's like knocked out. She's got blood all over her face. You know, she's near death. She stands up and she's like, right, I need to help my friend. Opens the door, and her friend's like, oh God, it's you. She finds her friend. She's like, it's you. And they go to hug and they go, oh, wait a minute. Elbow touch, COVID.
Get stuffed.
Seriously.
Are you kidding?
No. That's why I'm giving it a 1. It's ridiculous.
Are you kidding?
These 2 people nearly died. And in that moment of death, I'm sorry, but in this moment, I'm sorry if anyone thinks, hang on a minute, what are they all on about being controversial? I don't care. In that moment of, when you're going to face...
Give me a minute.
Sorry.
Right.
When you're in a moment...
-1.
In a moment when you've... Yeah. -1. Give it -1. In a moment when you're going to face death, when you're facing death, the last thing you will care about is COVID.
Exactly. Right,
and they both died at the end
got
anyway.
8, 15.
They both died a second after anyway. So you never care. It was ridiculous.
That's 23 and then -1.
22 then.
Because it has to
You
run
know
the
what? I
seconds.
won't even give it 22. I feel like that's... we'll give it 22.
No, let's go with the system.
Yeah, we'll go with the system.
Let's go with the system.
22.
No, before we run it through the system, I'd just like to say that has really offended me.
Yeah, it's offended me.
And I'll tell you why it's offended me. Because do you know what? Why are astral beings always the bad guys?
Oh, honestly.
I mean, some of our best friends are astral beings. And the thing is, on film, they're always... Do you know what? It's physical being propaganda, and I'm sick of it.
It's ridiculous.
Sick
It's propaganda for the physical
beings. We're all
beings.
the same. Give us a
just,
chance. Embrace the astral beings.
It did my head in
Good
anyway.
God. Anyway,
let's
run
have
it
a look.
through.
Put
Run
the
it through.
prepared punch guard in.
Put P run, because that's picture run, and then I get to see the attractive one.
hang on. P run.
P run.
Enter.
P run.
It's that's
100%.
I give up.
Rotten Tomatoes is broke.
I almost feel like ending film of the week there.
Yeah.
And never doing this segment again.
Because
that's offended me, that has genuinely offended me.
Have a look and see if the attractive female
let's have a
is
look,
on there. That might just cheer us up a little bit.
She might make an appearance on the cap. She's not even there.
Oh, well, that's how
Yes,
broken Rotten Tomatoes is.
100%.
100%?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, how many votes has it had? About
ridiculous. That's
Pathetic.
shocking.
Anyway.
I could go on forever about how this film should not be 100%.
We're already over time on this. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up there. And I'm sorry for everyone about this, because...
Come to a bad ending, hasn't it?
It really has, because we're so furious about this, but 100% for host. Listen, we need to get it out there to the fans right now. Do not listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Whatever you do, just forget about it now. Whatever status it has, whatever...
Stick with Elbis and Elbis.
Just listen, come to Elbis and Elbis. We'll give you a proper roundup of the film.
We've got the system.
An accurate
We've got the system.
that works.
My system.
This film, 22%, and I even think that's too high. I even think that's too high.
Listen, the thing is, we've ended this on a real downer. It's a Friday night, and we're sorry if we've ruined your Friday night, because it's ruined ours.
It's ruined mine.
Now, we might return later on, because I feel like having a bit of an after party.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Now, if we have an after party, sometimes what we like to do is we kick back, we have a little bit of a beer,
yeah.
And sometimes, if I can recombobulate in time and blow the dust off, and I'm probably going to have to get that broom out and check them off. The supercomputer may be recombobulated to wheel mode, let's just say. The real fans will know what that means.
Let's just say, no, I know we said there was beneath us, but, well, we don't care.
We need a bit of fun.
We don't care. Yeah. But, I suppose we're sorry about the way it ended, but I'm sorry, but we needed to tell you about Rotten Tomatoes and how inaccurate it's gotten. It's ridiculous. Don't watch Host. Don't watch our host. Don't watch... do watch us. It's alright in a way.
Yeah, it's alright.
But, say what you think about that. Let us know what you think. And we've been Elbis and Elbis. You've been world class.
What's going on with Elbis? Elbis.